Hey folks, how's it going? So this is a little video tutorial on how to get set up with using Dune 2000 on Windows 10, Windows 11 Plus. I know there's some questions that usually come up in the community with new players who want to try and get set up and configured with this stuff and are having issues. So I figured the best thing for it is to have a single video, which will go through all the different versions of the game currently available, how you can get them, how you can patch them, how you can play online and apply reshaders and all that kind of stuff. So first off, I guess we'll just go through how to do a very basic installation of the base game. There's two versions of this that are publicly accessible. One is Dunemaster, the second one is Gruntmods. I'm slightly biased in that I've had a couple of issues with Gruntmods in the past, but that's not everyone's experience. So my preference is generally to go for Dunemaster, but we'll go through all of these options. If you're looking just to play online, there is of course also just the CnCNet 5 client that you can also use, and we'll go through each of these now. So first up will be the Dunemaster installation. So you can go to the link here, dunemaster.webs.com, take you to the site, go to Files, and here you'll see two clients available for download. They have like a slim weight client and then a more heavier weight client. The biggest difference between these two is that there's no music or movie files included with this one. With the second one there is music files, just not videos. The second one also provides international language support, so as it says here, it includes English, Russian, Portuguese, Spanish, German, French, Italian. One quick note on this is that if you're intending to play a lot of online custom modded campaigns, they quite often use a custom voice pack, so it might be easier for configuration to just go with the lightweight launcher. Decision's totally up to you, and of course if you ever have issues trying to configure any of this stuff, you can join us in the Dune 2000 single player Discord. But I'm going to show you what the download configuration process is for both of these. Also, you will want to be grabbing these two links here. So this is the original music for the game, and this is the actual game movies included with the game. So what I have here in this Dunemaster folder is basically those four things. This is the lightweight installer, this is the multi-language pack installer, this is the movies.zip, and this is the music.zip. Haven't installed any of these yet, so we're just going to go through the process here. I'll be sure to put timestamps and stuff in the video so you don't have to sit through too much of this stuff if it's not relevant for what you're after. We'll start with the lightweight installer first. Hit run. This basically is just a nice extractor tooling. You just say where do you want to extract your stuff. For the purposes of this, I'm just going to put it in the same location. A common question that can sometimes come up is, can I have multiple installs of Dune on the same machine? Yes. You will also be prompted with a couple of pop-up boxes when you're downloading stuff from the site, so be aware of that. Cool, so that basically just installed the Dune 2000 online here. Nice and simple, straightforward, very fast. That's the first thing. Next up, we want to set up our movies music, because if we currently go into the lightweight client here, it's going to launch the game, but it's not going to have any sound or any music videos, because again, this is the lightweight client, this top one here. So what we want to do is go into our music file folder here, and if I bring this over here, we're using our WinRAR extended free edition as is tradition, but in here you'll see a music folder, and here are all the .aud music files. So you want to extract this to let me just preface this by going into the right directory before showing it on stream. Yep. So in my case, you want to extract it to this directory, wherever you have the installation folder, which will be called Dune 2000 Online /data. You want to extract the music folder to there and hit OK. Awesome. So if we go in here, we can verify under data, music folder, all these tracks are now here, which is great. I want to do the same again, this time for the movies.zip. Go extract. Again, our location is downloads Dunemaster Dune 2000 Online, the data folder. Hit OK. We're going to extract it to the exact same location as before. Cool. So now if we go in here under data, we'll see all the movie files are here, .vqa format, and as are all the music files. So that's essentially it for the most part. Just in terms of getting the Dune 2000 version up and running. I'll talk about the patches in a future section after we go through Gruntmods. But just to verify this all works so that you can all see, You can run the Dune 2000 config.exe. The current version of this uses the direct 3D9 renderer, and you can also adjust the resolution settings here if that's something that you're not familiar with. There are advanced settings too, so if you want to pop in here, change your hotkeys, video options, all that good stuff. Here's how it is. If you have the multi-language pack, this language setting here will let you flip between them as well. But hopefully if I run this, not sure how well this will capture because it's on a small resolution, we'll see. Hey, so there's the video. Looks pretty nice. You can hear some of the audio too as well.
The planet Arrakis.
Cool. And that's enough for like a basic audio test.
On this planet.
Yeah, on the planet of Arrakis, where all players are happy playing stuff. You can hit the campaign because it's the first time running it.
House Atreides.
Yep, House Atreides. And again, because of the resolution we're running at, it's jumping in and out of different resolutions. So that's what all that blackness is about. It should be fine when you're running the game on its own.
Strategic regions. Ordos moved in on the east. Harkonnen invade from the north.
Cool. I'll just pick one of these missions just to get into it so you can see that.
Welcome, conscripts. I am Nori Moneo.
Alright, so that all works. You get your briefings, hit start.
Standing by. Yes, Commander.
If we go into options, game setting, music, you have all the music in here. Hit play.
Standing by.
You should be good to go.
Ready, Commander. For the Duke. Trainees out.
That's it. That's that version of the game. All running okay. Nice. So if we go back to our Dunemaster setup, the second installer here is for the multi-language pack version. So this was slightly bigger executable. It's again going to be a very similar process. Hit run, hit yes, choose the language for your installation. I'm going to change the name of this just so we have it set up to be multi-language. It's going to be a bit bigger. It's a bigger file because it contains all of the language packs as well as the default music tracks. So in the instance of this specific install, which is the second one here, it includes the music from TD Ore Dune 2000 and Tibson by the looks of it. It's an interesting combination. This should basically only need us to put in the movie files. That is if you're planning to play the base campaign. If you're not, you can totally skip the movie files. They're not mandatory whatsoever. It'll run without them. So if we go to our Dune 2000 online multipack, we can check in here under data, under music. You can see it already has all of these tracks pre-populated from the various games. So that's cool. The only other thing we need to add in, as I say, is the movies. So again, go to our movie section and extract it under the install directory, which in this case is under downloads, Dunemaster, Dune 2000 online multi-language, data. So right here, and you can see there's not already a movie directory as well, so that's a good indicator that you need to do this. Hit extract, then go into it. You can again pop open the Dune 2000 config.exe if you want to verify these settings or look at advanced settings. And then you can pop open the launcher, and there's a bunch of different options with Dunemaster. You can choose whatever one of these is most relevant for you. Dune2000.exe is the main executable. This is the launcher that comes with the game. You can choose missions here, which will let you individually select each mission, yada yada. So we'll try open up the exe, just make sure it's all working okay, which it should be, fingers crossed. I see no reason why not. It's the exact same config as before. Yep, so we got the intro cutscene working, which is good. That's what you want to see.
On this planet, you will die.
We got the whispers of dying on Arrakis. Always nice. I guess we'll try a different campaign, Ordos this time.
We know little of the Ordos.
So as you can see, cutscene's working okay. Yes. Some more cutscenes. It's looking good.
Ordos took the best land. Harkonnen are a threat. Atreides are close by.
Yep, so the audio there is all working.
There is a 44.9% chance you are a Harkonnen.
True story. True story. So yeah, you got your mission settings. Hit start. Once again, you've got all the details here. You can go into your music, and you'll see in here this time all the music files include the TD ones as well as the ORA ones and a bunch of other files. So if you want to listen to some old school CNC music while you're doing this, you can. Data's got a Dune 2000 mix in here as well, so you can play through all these. And SFX and stuff should work too, as you can hear there. So that's all working pretty decently. And of course the main menu music and everything else. It's looking good so far. So hey folks, just a quick update in relation to that video. The reason why when you're using the Dunemaster install of this game with the manual added music files not auto playing on mission startup is because when you download the game music files from this link, you get them in this format, and they've actually all been renamed differently to the original file names, which means when the game attempts to look for a specific file name, it is no longer here. If you compare this to the Gruntmods install, you can see all the original names here on the right hand side. So your best bet to try and get the music auto playing is to find a download with all the original named music files and use that instead of the one that's up on Dunemaster, or alternatively you can rename all the ones on Dunemaster roughly according to what's here on the right hand side on Gruntmods, and they should autoplay for you. What I tend to do is just download Gruntmods, take all these files and put them in here. If I happen to find a link or a resource with the original named music files, I'll be sure to leave that down in the video description below. Thank you. That's it just for a general overview of the Dunemaster installs. Next up, we're going to have a look at a Gruntmods install. So to get the Gruntmods install, this is the URL. gruntmods.com/Dune2000_Gruntmods edition. The links will be down below in the description. You get onto this, there should be a download link. Here it is, the most recent version of it. There's also a light version of it. Totally up to you what version of it you want to play. 1.6.25, so I've downloaded that version here. I'm going to run the executable. Again, I expect this to be just like Dunemaster. Which I actually already have installed. Okay, it won't let me duplicate my install, so what might let me duplicate it. I'll have a look. Hit agree. It actually prompts you if you want to install the cutscenes and editing tools as part of the installation process, so let's just select both of those. Hit next. We're going to change our install location to downloads Dunemaster, new folder, Gruntmods test. Okay, install. So now we're going to reinstall basically our Gruntmods version to this folder. The installer is pretty nice. It lets you select to auto bundle those things with it, so you may not necessarily have to play around with moving audio files and things like that, which is something that's overhead. The thing I have said I've found in the past is when I initially started playing Dune 2000, I used the Gruntmods launcher, and after playing the game for longer than 40 plus minutes on certain missions, it would tend to crash. Now again, I suspect some of that may just be down to my own local hardware and some issues with my install on Windows. You will not necessarily experience the same problems, but I believe from what I've seen from similar members in the community that Dunemaster tends to be the most reliable version of the client that tends to be used. While this is indeed installing, I'll also point out that there is a CnCNet client standalone. So if you just want to play Dune 2000 on its own, without having to deal with any of the game client or custom campaigns. You just want to hop online. CnCNet do indeed have their own client, so you can go to cncnet.org, Dune2000/download. The client for this is bundled with Gruntmods and also Dunemaster, as far as I'm aware, so you can actually play it online just with those installs. This doesn't have to be done. It's only a lightweight client if you want to only play online. But basically, just go on here, click download and play online, install, and you're having a laugh. Yeah, this is almost done. It doesn't actually take too long. My computer's a little bit on the other side, so hopefully this will be a bit quicker than on your machine. But again, it's not a huge ordeal. 57, 56, 55. So we've gone through Dunemaster install. This will be Gruntmods. Next up, we'll be having a look at the community patch. So I remember the community has been quite active in terms of patching the most recent client to fix out some old original bugs baked into the original game client. The owners of Gruntmods and Dunemaster occasionally update their client in line with this, but there can sometimes be a disparity. So these installed versions may not have the most recent update. In which case there's a requirement to head off and grab the community patch, and we'll go through that shortly after going through how to set up the Gruntmods version, which again, similar to the other two versions, should be fairly straightforward, even more so without having to move the music or movie files this time. Boom. And you get a prompt for the installing of the actual cutscenes. It's pretty cool. This is extracting a BR, a finale, a lose, a G. So pretty cool. In terms of the download speed for these things individually off of Gruntmods, like for Dunemaster, downloading music and movie files can take a little bit with their relevant download links. So this is all pretty much in line with that. Yeah. Be aware that these can take a little bit to extract, but not too long. Cool, and then I can launch the version. So the Gruntmods version of it launches with this client. It looks slightly different. Yes. Configure the client. So you can see this includes multiple language packs, so you can configure it to use English. Again, similar hotkey video options. The config and exe might look a little bit different depending on the version you're using. You can overwrite these with the latest. It's all good. Hit finish here. So now I'm running two versions of the client. So here's the client. Launch campaign is what we're going to be testing out, but the multiplayer is here, D2K plus kit, and a bunch of these extra campaigns. So we'll try launch campaign. Hopefully this should work. It's been a while since I used Gruntmods. I see no reason why it shouldn't. I can hear it.
On this planet, you will die.
Interesting. This actually has mercenaries as its own little tab on the top right. It's a bit different.
House Atreides. Yes.
So game audio is working, however cutscenes appear to be loading,
Atreides
but only showing in black.
Strategic regions. Ordos moved in on the east. Harkonnen invade from the north.
Let me just try getting into a game.
Welcome, conscripts.
So this looks all good. Here we have the music playing in the background.
Yes, sir.
So this seems to be working for the most part. The only thing that's a little bit sketchy is the actual video files. I don't know why they're not loading by default. Considering we asked it to install it with the actual installation process. But if we have a look at the Gruntmods Gruntmods tests, we can go into the movies folder here. You can see that all the files are here, but they're not playing for some reason. Let me have a look at the config. Again, this is a fresh install, so it's likely that you'll hit these same problems. Movies are enabled, language is English, video options, resolution. I'll enable DX Wind, see if that resolves this problem for us. Language English, apply, okay, cool. And we'll try run the executable just from the actual folder itself. See if it'll load the video this time. Looks like it will. Cool. So it's a little bit finicky, not quite sure what was up with that. But just to validate again that it's working.
On this planet, you will die. We have seen it.
We can see the cutscenes now working, which is perfect. Pop into one of these.
No humanity remains in the Harkonnen of GD Prime. Only ruthlessness.
Do you want to play as House Harkonnen? Yes. Cutscene.
Harkonnen arrived first. The weak Atreides will be easy. The Ordos are coming closer.
It's by the will alone I said.
Yep, so that works. That works. This all works.
Reporting for the Baron.
Options, game settings, music. Again, you have access to all the files through here, so you can play through those. Easy peasy. So just to recap there, for the Gruntmods version, we installed it through the executable. When we first ran it, it seemed not to play the music files, or the video files. So I went to the Dune 2000 config.exe in the install location, went to video options and just enabled DX Wind in GDI mode. Not quite sure what the situation was there. Can be a little bit finicky depending on your configuration, but you can play around with the settings and video options. And again, if you have issues setting this stuff up, you can contact the single player crew over on the Discord channel. We're usually more than happy to help out. So that's the basic Gruntmods install. Next up is a little bit about the Dune 2000 community patch. So for those unfamiliar, you can go onto the Dune 2K forum. There is a dedicated channel here that is called Dune 2000 single player game patching and new features. I'll link this below as well. In here, Klovkak has been working away at this game so much, patching all of the features of the game. So he includes 2 downloaded files. One is the updated executable, and the other is the updated editor. The editor has just come out recently as well. Huge changes, enabling a lot of cool stuff for the community, so be sure to check that out. But there's a huge feature list, a bunch of different things here in terms of the map editor, all the bug fixes, and this list is like endless. He has a huge to-do list here that he just keeps crossing off. As far as I'm aware, he keeps updating the original client at the top of this thread. However, if you're uncertain if this is the latest version or not, again, feel free to go to our Discord channel and you'll be able to check it there. We have it pinned on the Dune 2000 single player Discord as well. So download these 2. You will have to have a forum account, otherwise you may not be able to download these. Forum accounts are free to set up, it takes a couple minutes. You can go through the basic steps on the site, but basically just click it, download it, and then you should have access to it, like I have here, community patch. So I have, just for this example, I'm only going to go through the single player patch. It'll be the exact same thing for the D2K editor. I mean, I may as well download this, I suppose, and try that out as well, since we're going to go through all of this. Keep it nice self-contained so people don't have questions, or too many questions hopefully after the fact. Inside these, this is the first link, this one, the Dune 2000 SP patches. There's 3 files, dune2000.exe, ddraw.dll, and ddraw.ini. You want to extract these to wherever your install of Dune 2000 is. Doesn't matter if it is the Gruntmods version, Dunemaster version, whatever the case is, just go to wherever you have it installed. As per our demo cases, I'll just use the Dunemaster 2000 one, and I'll extract it into here. It'll ask you if you want to replace these files, because this is going to basically replace your ddraw.dll, ddraw.ini, and dune2000.exe. 3 files that you already have there, you want to replace them. Yes to all. Perfect. So if we go into that directory, so it was this one that I updated, and you can tell if I sort this by date modified, the most recent one is up here. But essentially, that's the update. That's all there is to it. You can run your dune2000.exe. It should still work. I'll verify it here. You will see that the ini settings are a little bit different, which is a good thing to point out. You can see the version number and stuff here too. But here's the updated settings. If it is a case that you wish to reconfigure it, you can run the config.exe, display mode, windowed, full screen, stretched, etc. So you can change it here. The other thing that you can do if you want to poke around at some text files is you can go into the dune2000.ini file, and you can see a whole bunch of the manual settings configured here. Game width, game height, etc. And you can try poke around at it in there. Same with ddraw.ini, the full screen equals false. You can set this to true. It's usually the main thing that I update whenever I'm taking a new version of Clovak's Dune executable. Is just pop his files into my install, go in here, change the full screen to true, and I'm pretty much sorted. But again, you should be able to edit these through the UI of the Dune2000 config.exe. Again, any issues with doing any of this, let us know. We can help you out. But it's the exact same process if you want to apply this patch to the Gruntmods version. Just to kind of briefly show, if we look at the Gruntmods test, Dune2000, you'll see that you'll be overriding the Dune2000.exe as well as the .ini and .dll files, and it should work, all things considered, for you. And yeah, that's going through the community patch system. In terms, I guess the other thing was we downloaded last second there was the editor. I haven't actually ever used the Dune2000 editor, so let me have a quick check of the file directory under which that this should go. He most likely says this on the forum as well himself. He's quite good and thorough with his instructions. But yeah, so in Dunemaster, Dune2000 Online, there's a map and mission editor section here. Pop these all in here. So you'll see if you extract them all to the directory, place the files in the location. I'm going to double click this and hope it works. Don't see any reason why it shouldn't. Hey, there we go. And there's the updated map editor working for us as well. I'll just hit okay, whatever. Just to verify that this is at least sort of working. There it is. Happy days. That's the updated map editor now working as well. Perfect. So we've gone through how to use the Dunemaster setup, how to do Gruntmods setup, the community patches, how to, if you just want to play online, you can download it via the CNC Online executable. Other things that are worth noting, I guess, is I have a video on how to set up Reshade with Dune2000. If you want to check that out, you're more than welcome to. Reshade is just a post effects processor, so it can change some of the graphical fidelity and apply filters and all this kind of stuff. But then the other thing, I guess, is just to point out that there is quite an active player base for Dune2000 still. You can see the Dune2000 single player Discord is here. You can see I was just asking beforehand, I was asking Clov about the editor, but here you can see Clov just confirming for us. In the forums, he only posts the bigger official releases, but in the meantime, he might have like slight changes along the way. He'd usually post them in here because it's where we're most active and get feedback from players and stuff on them. And as I say, usually in the Dune2000 single player, or Landsraad as it is currently called, general channel in the pinned messages, you'll find those copies of those files, which are more or less the same as the ones we just seen in the forum, and you can access those. And of course, you can also get updates in terms of when people are streaming here. I myself tend to spam a bunch of stuff in here in the video section for recent campaign videos. You can see there's a couple of mentions here to some old OpenRA games with Kip, and there's a good few others who are constantly sharing progress there. Also in here is a whole bunch of the legacy map makers, so Faye, Fada, CM Blast, Kip, a whole bunch of others, and of course Gruntmods himself is in here, Thompson's, I think Data was in here as well, and a whole bunch of other people. So there's no shortage of people around who are more than happy and willing to help if you are having issues with the installation and setup of Dune 2000. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully that's been of help. I'll be sure to spend some time to timestamp this all down in the video description, as well as include links to all the various stuff there. And yeah, thanks for checking it out, guys, and I'll see you all next time.